at the Air Force Academy and adjunct here and there, a few other places. Buzz, I wanted to say, is the only person I know that willingly left beautiful Colorado Springs area to go live in Washington, D.C. And I think maybe we'll hear a little bit about that along the way.
Yeah.
So please welcome Buzz Walsh. He'll be talking about managing security polarities.
Which is just a jazzy way of maybe addressing an old problem. So permit me to wander a bit and provide some background. I think I owe you a disclaimer up front for anyone coming thinking that I was going to be offering a solution. I'm actually coming here with problems. And I don't mean in a therapy kind of sense, because I probably wouldn't be limited to that. But a lot of the work I do with the federal government and with other governments and commercial firms, they have tasks that need solutions. And I thought I could either come and maybe define a problem space relatively narrow and talk about an approach or some technology that was applied towards that problem. But that would just be maybe bringing some information to you all, but that's not helping the government any. I'm actually going to do the reverse. I'm going to take a relatively broad area of problem. Any of you that are going to go into the security or the IT fields, whether that's in industry or in government, you're going to have to wrestle with that problem. And we need some solutions. My clients mainly are, and I'll get to that in a bit, we work with long-term solutions. So hopefully you're comfortable with that reversal. If you're uncomfortable, I'm sure you'll get your money back. I saw the suggestion box right next to the shredder there in the office. So just apply for a refund. And please interrupt me, because again, my motivation is to try to engage you all with some of the problems that are down the road. I will gain from getting questions from you, and actually the core of the presentation is a list of questions at the end. So your questions are as relevant and as valid as my own. But let me give a little bit of background. The obligatory, my employer, again from a campus setting, and it really, you've probably heard this before, it doesn't seem that long ago that I was right there. Now you look up here and you see an old guy, but what you don't realize is we don't think we age on the inside. Your parents probably tell you this all the time. But the nice thing about employers is they pay you money, right? And I put 2 kids through college here, largely on this employer, because the military never pays. But good thing about this employer, other than letting me come out and share with you, is they address a wide range of problems. Lots of employees. We're always hiring, by the way. Lots of sales. They work with both the commercial and the government space. In technology, most of the problems are no longer confined to just government or just industry, or it's just an academic problem. It's a multidisciplinary, multiple client-based problem. That's why I enjoy the challenges I can get with them as an employer. That's why I'm very supportive of efforts like CERIAS, because they see the world as a multidisciplinary, or see the problems in the multidisciplinary aspect, and I like to support that. If you will, this is another role that I play. I'd like to talk briefly about the Information Assurance Technical Analysis Center. And I guess I'm losing a little bit. I don't know if I can do anything about that on the slides. But the Defense Department in the U.S. has 9 different information analysis centers. They are functionally aligned. Their purpose is to collect information, whether that comes from you folks, whether that comes from industry, in certain functional areas. There's an ITAC, an Information Analysis Center on chemical propulsion, so that they can collect and reuse this. So if you're in one part of the government and you're building a certain capability in chemical propulsion, another part of the government shouldn't have to pay to get access to that technology. Does that make sense? So let's build a clearinghouse to collect and reuse that. So in computer security, in 1998, they created the Information Assurance Technical Analysis Center. If you do a Google on IATAC, ITAC will be on the first page. It's always there. So that's a charter. That's a nicely academic charter in terms of let's collect and reuse technology from wherever it comes in the government. There are, and in that capacity, we actually have 7 different universities that we have relationships with, Purdue being one of them, where we actively engage in either a seminar like this or in research areas. Maybe we make suggestions on what semester projects would maybe produce information that was useful for the government, commercial industry. Again, hopefully it's bringing real-world problems to students and researchers, as well as connecting those solutions up with the folks that have the problems. And at the bottom, there's about $200 million worth of activity. If you translate that into how many people are involved, and that's probably the best metric, we've got thousands of people involved on an annual basis. So there's a good amount of activity, papers, research, projects. If you're interested, just do a Google on ITAC. Now a little more on from the personal side. Most of my clients are government clients, not necessarily just the U.S. government. But we try to find research that target their needs. Today, hiding behind that Managing Security Polarities title, I want to talk a bit about service-oriented architecture security. So hopefully service-oriented architecture isn't a foreign concept. If it is, just ask questions and we'll get there. Defense Department is our biggest client. Any guess why the Defense Department is our biggest client? This is, yes?
They like knowing things.
They like knowing things, and as such, they have the most money. All right? So money tends to make a client. I just wish they knew all the things that the movies show that they knew. I just saw Bourne Ultimatum the other night. It's hard to not like Matt Damon, you know? But I'm like, gosh, I've been in the real version of that room, and if it was only as good as it was in the movies. We were commenting before on Hunt for Red October. The submarines aren't necessarily as jazzy inside as they are in the movie. You kind of wish that we had in real life what we have in Hollywood. But I'm sorry. Movies always come into my presentations. I don't know why. Long-term problems. I think that's important, particularly with where you are in your careers. You're interested in long-term problems right now. The short-term problems are going to get solved, addressed, funded, or abandoned before you're well established in the workforce. Translate this to funding and job security. All right? Unless things have changed on a campus, as you leave the campus, those are things that are going to be important. And again, there's my disclaimer at the bottom on why I came here. There's going to be lots of opinion rolled into this. The title might be the most obvious of that. I'm going to get to a little historical construct later. But we tend to build IT systems, networks, because of the performance we want out of them. All right? eBay was stood up to learn more about consumer buying habits. No, it was built to make money. Right? We wanted a performance, and it's been phenomenally successful. Securing eBay was a necessary task to get to the purpose. So we often have this performance security tension. We don't build things just to secure them. That doesn't make any sense. Every once in a while, the capabilities of something gets so tremendous that we decide we have to destroy it just to save it. All right? And I could get another movie title in there. I'm thinking of The Ring, The One Ring.